Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 2-day visit to Israel today will become the first Indian leader to address its parliament, the Knesset. India-Israel reaffirmed zero tolerance against terrorism at the 10th Joint Working Group meeting on counterterrorism. Also, the two nations launched first round of FTA negotiations. Donald Trump boasts of a turnaround for the ages in State of the Union speech, seeking to reverse his dismal polls ahead of crucial midterm polls. And in sports, England beat Pakistan by 2 wickets in the T20 World Cup, booked the semi-final spot. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Israel is expected to be a historic one. Relations between the two countries have grown from strength to strength in the recent years. The two share a strategic partnership. Their priorities converge in diverse domains, from defense and security to innovation and workforce mobilization. During his visit, Prime Minister Modi will address Israel's parliament and hold talks with his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh puts the significance of the visit in proper context for you.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Israel from February 25th to 26th. This will be Prime Minister's second official visit to the West Asian country. In Jerusalem, PM Modi will be the first Indian Prime Minister to address the Israeli parliament called Knesset.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is visiting Israel on February 25th and 26th. It's a 2-day visit. This is a very historic visit. First time he came to Israel was in 2017, and that time he laid down the foundation of our relationship. And now we have reached a stage where we need to take it forward and start a new phase of our strategic relationship. During his visit, he will be having detailed discussions on bilateral issues and regional and global issues with the Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu. He will also be meeting the President, Mr. Herzog, and he will be addressing the Knesset, which is their parliament.
India and Israel are key defense and security partners. Between 2020 and 24, Israel supplied 13% of India's total arms imports, while India accounted for 34% of Israel's defense exports. An MOU was inked in 2025 to enable sharing of advanced tech and promote co-development and co-production of defense equipments. The two countries are strongly committed to combating terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. On the trade front, India ranks as Israel's second-largest Asian trading partner in merchandise. In financial year 24-25, bilateral trade was $3.75 billion. Israel is a key partner country in the India-led IMAC initiative. India and Israel also cooperate closely in areas of water and agriculture, focusing on water conservation, wastewater treatment. The two countries are fostering strong partnership in innovation and workforce mobilization, which serves as a practical economic pillar in their bilateral relations.
The best thing about India and Israel are that we don't compete with each other, rather we complement each other, and we complement in our core strengths. Israel's core strength is in science and technology, innovation, critical and emerging technologies, be it AI, be it cybersecurity, quantum. And similarly, our core strength is huge kind of engineers, skilled manpower, and there's an ecosystem in India where we can scale it up in sense. So the idea during this visit will be how we can combine these two ecosystems so that both the countries can benefit out of it.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi highlighted the deep and enduring friendship between India and Israel, highlighting trust, innovation, and shared commitment to peace and progress that define the bilateral ties. Behind me, you can see the old city of Jerusalem. The civilizational ties between India and Israel date back to over 2 millennia. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Israel, expectations are high that the modern strategic partnership will be taken forward in diverse domains. With camera person Anand Kumar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Jerusalem.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to become the first Indian leader to address the Knesset, Israel's parliament. It is a unique honor that celebrates close ties between the countries. DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh reports from Jerusalem.
During his visit to Israel, one of the first official engagements of Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be to visit the Parliament of Israel. It's called the Knesset, and deliver an address. It is a unique honor. It's the first time an Indian Prime Minister has been invited to address the Knesset. Although it's not a new opportunity for Prime Minister Modi, he's had experience of delivering address at several foreign parliaments in the past. The Knesset is the highest legislative body of the country of Israel, also played a key role in drafting their constitution of the state of Israel. India and Israel are strategic partners. It is expected that during Prime Minister Modi's visit, cooperation and partnership will be taken forward in diverse domains. With camera person Jaishankar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Jerusalem.
In a striking gesture ahead of Prime Minister Modi's arrival, Israel's parliament, the Knesset, was lit up in the colors of the Indian flag, a symbolic salute to a partnership that has steadily grown in strength and warmth. Ahead of Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit, the leader of the opposition in Israel, Yair Lapid, emphasized that India-Israel relationship goes beyond strategy, describing it as a deep bond of friendship between the two nations. He also called Prime Minister Modi a true friend of Israel. DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh joins us from Jerusalem. Shubhendu, good morning. Take us through Prime Minister Modi's key engagements on day one of the visit.
Good morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to embark on a historic visit to Israel. He would reach here sometime in the afternoon. At the airport, he would be accorded a ceremonial welcome. Thereafter, Prime Minister Modi and his Israeli counterpart, PM Netanyahu, will hold a brief meeting. There's a special welcome that awaits Prime Minister Modi at the hotel. Highlight of the day is going to be PM Modi's address at the Knesset. It's a unique honor. PM Modi will be the first Indian Prime Minister to be addressing the Israeli parliament. Leaders are curious the manner in which Prime Minister Modi is going to articulate India-Israel friendship and the roadmap ahead. Thereafter, later in the day, Prime Minister is set to engage with some leading innovators, tech leaders from Israel, and at dinner, the two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Netanyahu, would again have time to share thoughts with one another and spend some time together. So those are broadly highlights of day one.
All right, Shubhendu, what will be the issues in focus when the two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Netanyahu, hold talks?
You see, there are a host of areas where the priorities for India and Israel converge. They are strategic partners. In fact, expectations are high. The manner in which the relationship is going to be taken forward, elevated in diverse areas. Defense and security happens to be a cornerstone of the partnership. Both countries would like to capitalize on the leadership in the domain of innovation in particulars. The innovators from both countries can work in closer coordination. India and Israel also cooperate in domains of agriculture, water security for that matter. As far as connectivity is concerned, boosting trade is concerned, Israel happens to be a key partner as far as the IMEC initiative are concerned. On the people-to-people connect front, there is a very organized workforce mobilization plan that India and Israel engage in. We'll have to wait and watch the manner in which the roadmap for the future is set. But what is also going to be in focus is the warmth and friendship and the body language of the two leaders. Their friendship is well known. Both leaders refer to one another as friend and speak with a lot of warmth. We'll have to see how that friendship also helps steer these two countries in a new direction in the years to come.
All right, Shubhendu, thank you for joining in with those updates. And ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Israel, the 10th meeting of India-Israel Joint Working Group on Counterterrorism was held on February 24th in New Delhi. The meeting underscored the importance of bilateral cooperation in countering terrorism, reflecting the spirit and breadth of the India-Israel strategic partnership. Both sides unequivocally and strongly condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism, and reaffirmed the principle of zero tolerance towards terrorism. They strongly condemned the brutal terror attacks in both the countries, including the heinous October 7, 2023 terror attack in Israel, the dastardly terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, India on April 22, 2025, and other terror attacks that have emphasized the urgent need to hold the perpetrators of these acts accountable. Both sides emphasized that confronting terrorism requires concerted action in a sustained and comprehensive manner. Against this backdrop, the two sides renewed their commitment to strengthening multilateral cooperation in the field of countering terrorism. The two sides reiterated their commitment to cooperate in combating terrorism and terrorist organizations, as well as their proxies, supporters, sponsors, financiers, and backers. Both sides discussed ways to strengthen cooperation against different challenges. They also discussed further strengthening law enforcement and judicial cooperation, including through information sharing and cooperation on mutual legal assistance requests. Also, the first round of negotiations for the India-Israel Free Trade Agreement commenced on 23rd of February in New Delhi and is scheduled to take place until 26th of February. The terms of reference were signed in November 2025, establishing a structured framework for discussions on identified areas to enhance trade and economic cooperation. Total merchandise trade between the two countries stood at $3.62 billion in the financial year 2024-25. India and Israel share complementarities across several sectors, and the FTA will be a catalyst to further enhance the bilateral trade by providing certainty and predictability to the businesses, including MSMEs. During this round, technical experts from both the sides will engage in sessions covering various aspects of FTA. This engagement highlights the strategic importance of India-Israel bilateral relationship and also reinforces India's commitment to strengthen economic partnerships in line with national priorities and global aspirations. Both sides are working towards concluding a balanced and mutually beneficial agreement. In Jerusalem, Prime Minister Modi will also visit the historic Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum. Shubhendu Ghosh gets us this report from there.
We are at Yad Vashem in Jerusalem. This is the World Holocaust Remembrance Center. It commemorates the memory, the legacy of some 6 million Jews who perished during the Nazi genocide. During his visit to Israel, Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be paying a visit to the center to pay his respects. Roisa Altman, born 1870, Czechoslovakia, murdered in Auschwitz camp. This is the monumental book of names. It documents the names of inconceivable number of Holocaust victims. It keeps their names, the year they were born, the place where they grew up, and if the information is available, the place where they were murdered. The center also has an art gallery that carries art from the times of the Holocaust. All of this put together creates a living memory of the victims and a promise that such a Holocaust will never happen again. I have with me here Lily Mattis from the United States. She is one of the many people who have memories of their family members being taken during the Nazi Holocaust. Ma'am, if you can share with us, what is your memory and what brings you here?
Okay, my grandparents, the Feldmans, and from my mother's side, the Goldsteins, who were killed in the Holocaust, and also aunts and uncles, young people, and most of their family was left behind, and they were killed. We don't know. They went to Treblinka, somebody said, and of course nobody survived from Treblinka.
They say when we don't learn from history, we are bound to repeat it. In that sense, this centre has a message for the entire humanity. When Prime Minister Narendra Modi pays his respects to the victims of the Nazi Holocaust, it would be a poignant moment for the civilizational ties between India and Israel. With camera person Jay Shankar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Jerusalem.
You're watching DD India News. We're heading for a short break. After the break, we'll tell you United Nations General Assembly backs Ukraine on conflict's 4th anniversary as US abstains from ceasefire resolution. Landslide caused by heavy rains kills at least 30 people in Brazil. Louvre Museum director resigns in the wake of heist of the century. Macron accepts resignation.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. अरे it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News. Let's get you more international updates. US President Donald Trump is delivering the first State of the Union address of his second term before the United States Congress. Up on your screens, we'll get you the highlights of the speech. Trump started off his address by saying that our nation is back and that it's better, richer and stronger than ever before. US border is the strongest and most secure. Trump also highlighted that murder rate has been at 125-year low. The US president also highlighted the US got $18 trillion of investment from the world. Inflation has fallen to the lowest level in more than 5 years. 100% jobs were created in the private sector. And Trump also highlighted 80 million barrels of oil from Venezuela. Dow Jones broke 50,000 for years ahead of schedule is what Trump noticed in his address. Trump also came down heavily on Democrats for immigration. On the immigration, this has been a bone of contention. Trump on US Supreme Court talked of the tariffs as very unfortunate ruling. Trump also highlighted that almost all countries want to maintain tariff deal, and these were the highlights of Trump's State of the Union address to Congress. Up on your screens, we have President Donald Trump's State of the Union address and highlights of the address. Different aspects of his administration Trump highlighted. He talked of how inflation has fallen to the lowest level in more than 5 years. 100% jobs were created in private sector. In a nutshell, Trump wanted to send this message that US is back and that it is better, richer and stronger than ever before. The address focused on domestic issues, also his threats on intensifying military strikes on Iran over its nuclear program, and also how US has come back is what Trump said. He did notice that Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing and that he did point out that this is a source of shame to certain members of the court. Great big beautiful bill was also referred by Trump, which he said has given relief, major relief in fact, to the people. Trump, however, noticed that welfare of the citizens has to be the main concern. Talking of accountability, Trump did he did highlight that he is aiming to build a nation where government answers to the people. President Trump also announced that next Olympics will be held in the US in 2028. The US president also pointed to the numerous incidents of shooting in the country. He also pointed out that Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is one of the safest countries today. Trump did not miss a chance to highlight that the country is winning again and that people have been supporting this. Trump also welcomed the U.S. ice hockey team inside the House chamber. He did point that most jobs have been added in the private sector and that U.S. border is the strongest and most secure at present. Trump also noticed that mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and also are continuing to fall fast. President Trump also highlighted that U.S. had received more than 80 million barrels of oil from Venezuela after the ouster of South American country's leader, Nicolas Maduro. So these are the highlights of President Trump's State of the Union address. And senior Iranian officials on Tuesday stressed Iran's willingness to reach a nuclear deal with the United States, while Washington continues to escalate its military posture in West Asia, deploying advanced fighter jets. Iran's Foreign Minister Saeed Abbas Araghchi said on Tuesday that Iran is determined to reach a fair and equitable deal with the United States as soon as possible. In his remarks posted on X, Araghchi said that the two sides have a historic opportunity to strike an unprecedented agreement that addresses mutual concerns and achieves common interests, adding that a deal is within reach if diplomacy is prioritized. Araghchi's comments came ahead of a third round of indirect nuclear negotiations between Tehran and Washington, scheduled for Thursday in Geneva. The two rounds of indirect talks were held earlier this month, centered on Iran's nuclear program and the possible lifting of the U.S. sanctions. The UN General Assembly voiced support for Ukraine on Tuesday on the 4th anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, with the United States among the countries abstaining from vote. The Assembly passed a resolution saying it was committed to the sovereignty, independence, unity and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. The resolution was passed by a tally of 107 countries in favor, 12 against and 51 abstentions from the 193-member Assembly. The resolution also called for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire and comprehensive, just and lasting peace.
The parameters of peace in Ukraine are not a mystery. It must be in accordance with international law, including the UN Charter and relevant UN resolutions. And it must uphold the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. Enough with the death, enough with the destruction, enough with the broken lives and shattered futures. It is time for an immediate, full, and unconditional ceasefire, the first step toward a just peace that saves lives and ends the endless suffering.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a social media post expressed gratitude to the 107 nations that supported Ukraine's resolution at the UN General Assembly, calling for a full ceasefire and the return of Ukrainian citizens. He highlighted that the resolution, which aims for lasting peace, was a crucial step and pledged to continue working with global partners to achieve peace. Meanwhile, United Nations General Secretary Antonio Guterres marked the 4th anniversary of Russia's attack in Ukraine, describing the conflict as a violation of international law and a threat to global peace. He called for an immediate, full and unconditional ceasefire as a first step towards achieving a just and lasting peace. Meanwhile, Paris lit up the Eiffel Tower in the blue and yellow colors of the Ukraine flag on Tuesday to mark 4 years of Russia-Ukraine conflict. In southeastern Brazil, rescue teams retrieved bodies from debris and thick mud on Tuesday after a landslide triggered by heavy rains killed 30 people. Authorities reported that 39 people remained missing after the torrential rains as firefighters and sniffer dogs searched through the debris to locate them. A river burst its banks and streets became raging currents of brown water in the state of Minas Gerais after the overnight downpour in a region that has seen record rain this month. State firefighters said 30 people had died in the city of Juiz de Fora and Yuba. More than 200 people have been rescued. Brazil's federal government declared a state of calamity in Juiz de Fora as the country faces its peak summer rainy season from December to March. French President Emmanuel Macron on Tuesday accepted the resignation of the head of Paris's Louvre Museum, which has been grappling with the fallout from a high-profile Jules Heist and rolling strikes. The office of the French presidency in a statement said that Laurence Descartes tendered her resignation, which Macron accepted, praising an act of responsibility at a time when the world's largest museum needs calm and a strong new impetus to successfully carry out major projects involving security and modernization. Descartes has faced intense criticism since burglars made off in October with jewels worth an estimated $102 million that are still missing, exposing glaring security gaps at the world's most visited museum. Strikes over pay and conditions since December have also led to regular closures and added to a list of woes that included 2 water leaks as well as a massive ticket fraud investigation. Critics, including the State Auditor's Office, have questioned the museum's low spending on security and infrastructure maintenance, while it made lavish purchases of new artwork, only a quarter of which is open to the public, and spent heavily on post-pandemic relaunch projects. The sentencing of Los Angeles drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen has been postponed from February 25th to April 8th for supplying the ketamine dose that led to the death of Friends star Matthew Perry. Jasween Sangha admitted running a drug stash house in North Hollywood and pleaded guilty in September to 5 felony charges related to the 2023 overdose death of Matthew Perry. Sangha faces up to 65 years in prison after pleading guilty to 1 count of maintaining a drug-involved premises, 3 counts of illegal ketamine distribution, and 1 count of distributing ketamine that resulted in a death. Medical examiners concluded that Perry died from acute effects of ketamine. Perry had publicly discussed his decades-long substance abuse, including during his peak fame as Chandler Bing on the 1990s hit NBC television comedy Friends. You're watching DD India Newshour, waiting for a short break, but after the break, stay with us for a special report on how AI is reshaping India's healthcare landscape. Global delegates led by Sundar Pichai experienced India's GI-tagged coffee. And Barsana marks start of the holy festivities with Laddu ritual at the revered Sri Ladli Ji Maharaj Temple in Uttar Pradesh. after the break. You're watching DD India Newshour. A quick recap of the top stories now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a two-day visit to Israel today will become first Indian leader to address its parliament, the Knesset. India-Israel affirmed zero tolerance against terrorism at 10th Joint Working Group meeting on counterterrorism. Also, the two nations launched the first round of FTA negotiations. Donald Trump boasts of a turnaround for the ages in State of the Union speech, seeking to reverse his dismal polls ahead of crucial midterm polls. And in sports, England beat Pakistan by 2 wickets in the T20 World Cup, booked the semi-final spot. India's healthcare system is undergoing a massive and a major transformative change. No longer confined to hospitals and clinics, healthcare deliveries are now being powered by digital technology and artificial intelligence. From early diagnosis to personalized treatment and rural outreach, AI is emerging as a game changer, making healthcare faster, smarter, and more accessible. Take a look.
India's healthcare system is no longer limited to hospitals and medical clinics of doctors. Digital technology and artificial intelligence have given a new direction to the country's healthcare infrastructure. Today, AI is not just a technical term. It has become the foundation for better treatment, timeless diagnosis, and a more empowered healthcare system. AI's most significant impact is visible in early diagnosis and personalized treatment. In radiology, pathology, and cardiology, AI-based systems are detecting diseases with greater accuracy than ever through advanced medical imaging. By analyzing large volumes of data, AI evaluates a patient's lifestyle, genetic profile, and medical history to design personalized treatment plans, making healthcare more precise, effective, and affordable. AI has also transformed telemedicine. In remote and rural interiors where specialist doctors are often unavailable, AI-enabled telemedicine platforms are providing consultations right at patients' homes. Virtual assistants, chatbots, and remote monitoring devices track symptoms in real time and instantly share critical data with doctors. This technology is significantly strengthening rural healthcare services. AI is playing a vital role in community health and disease surveillance as well. Across the country, AI-based monitoring systems are tracking disease patterns, identifying risks, and predicting potential outbreaks. The National Center for Disease Control is using AI-driven data analytics to detect health threats early, enabling timely prevention action. In hospitals, AI is streamlining administrative tasks for patient records and appointment scheduling to billing and supply chain management. Automation is allowing doctors and healthcare workers to spend more time with patients. Improved internet connectivity in rural areas has further expanded AI adoption. At the same time, healthcare professionals are being trained to effectively integrate AI into clinical practice. India is steadily a future. National initiatives such as the TB Free India campaign are already leveraging AI at scale. With technology, policy, and human empathy working together, the country is building a stronger, more inclusive, and future-ready healthcare system. Bureau Report, DD India.
The 7th India-Japan joint exercise Dharma Guardian begins in Uttarakhand. The 7th edition of the exercise Dharma Guardian between the Indian Army and the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force commenced at the Foreign Training Node in Uttarakhand, Chaubatia, and will continue till March 9th. A 120-member contingent from each side is participating, with the Japanese side represented by the 32nd Infantry Regiment and the Indian Army contingent drawn from the Ladakh Scouts. The exercise, held alternately in India and Japan, aims to enhance military collaboration and interoperability for joint operations in semi-urban environments, focusing on modern technology, joint planning, ISR, grid development, cordon and search operations, heliborne missions, and house intervention drills. Indian Air Force holds first in fact, full dress rehearsal of the exercise Vayu Shakti at Pokhran, Rajasthan. The Indian Air Force conducted a day-to-night firepower rehearsal at Pokhran Field Firing Range ahead of the February 27th main event. Sukhoi 30, MKI, MiG-29, Jaguar aircraft, Apache and Prachand helicopters, along with transport aircraft and the Akash missile system, carried out the stimulated strikes and operations, while Tejas did not participate due to a technical issue. Garud commandos staged a counter-terror drill, and the event concluded with a drone show depicting the map of India and Operation Sindoor. Google and Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai visited the Bharat GI Coffee Lounge, organized by Department of Promotion for Industry and Internal Trade during the India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi. Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal captured the moment on, and he in fact posted on X, I quote. He also put that on the social media platform. During the visit, Pichai interacted with baristas and experienced the rich flavors of India's premium GI tagged coffees. Alongside delegates from Finland, France, Japan, Nigeria, Botswana, Lithuania, Kazakhstan, Poland and Germany, among others, also visited the Coffee Experience Center. The Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has unveiled Bharat GI as a unified national intellectual property brand. The Coffee Experience Center is attracting visitors to explore and experience various Indian GI registered coffees. The Kolkata-Agartala International Bus Service via Dhaka has resumed operations after an 18-month suspension. The Agartala-Dhaka-Kolkata International Bus Service resumed regular operations on Tuesday through the Agartala-Akhora Integrated Land Port. The Royal Maitri service had been suspended due to political turmoil in Bangladesh that caused visa issues and a drop in passengers. With conditions stabilizing and visa services also resuming in Agartala, the corridor is set to strengthen cross-border connectivity and travel between India and Bangladesh. The Indian government has blocked 5 OTT platforms for streaming obscene content. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has banned 5 OTT platforms for streaming obscene content, including Mood, XVIP, Koyal Play Pro, Digi Movieplex, Feel and Jugno following due procedure. These platforms were found to have violated laws that penalized obscenity in content. Under the procedure, the government directs internet service providers to block access to OTT platforms under the Information Technology Rules 2021 and the laws against obscenity. Now, these rules aim to maintain public decency, safeguard national interests, and enforce ethical journalistic practices across digital platforms. The action aligns with Section 69A of the Information Technology Act 2000, which grants the government authority to block online content for various reasons. Let's take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India. In Tamil Nadu's Nagapattinam, the Forest Department has intensified conservation efforts to protect endangered olive ridley turtles. Large-scale egg collection is underway this season, with officials expecting the number to cross 70,000 as more turtles return to the coast annually. Alongside awareness drives, turtle excluder devices have been introduced in fishing nets to help turtles escape and reduce accidental deaths. A government school in Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur district is redefining rural education through lab-based and digital learning. Moving beyond the conventional classroom model, the school now offers interactive lessons that foster curiosity and critical thinking among students. The transformation is helping rural students shift away from rote learning towards a more future-ready educational experience. Virtually impaired artists shine at Divya Kala Mela, including a class 11 student from Dehradun who is showcasing her intricate mandala artwork at the Divya Kala Mela. Despite extremely limited vision and no formal training, she mastered the craft through dedication and practice. Balancing studies with art, she now dreams of becoming an IAS officer while inspiring others with her resilience and talent. Nagpur is witnessing rising demand for eco-friendly gulal ahead of Holi, with artisans producing chemical-free colors made from arrowroot powder and plant-based ingredients. Manufacturers say prices have dipped slightly this year, making the skin-friendly and environment-friendly safe colors more affordable for festive celebrations. In Mathura's Barsana town in Uttar Pradesh, thousands of devotees gathered at revered Sri Ladli Ji Maharaj temple on Tuesday to celebrate the unique tradition of Laddu Mar Holi. The festival features the joyful showering and distribution of laddus as sacred offering among devotees. This ritual symbolizes an invitation from the women of Barsana associated with Radha to the men of Nandgaon linked to Lord Krishna's childhood. You're watching DD India News. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, Warner Brothers Discovery Board engaged Paramount Sky Dance after revised bid challenges Netflix deal. Sri Lanka to lock horns with New Zealand in the Super 8 clash at the T20 World Cup in Colombo today.
Always welcoming. The vibe of Punjab is larger than life. Warm up to grandeur that's beyond compare. And history that's dotted with tales of bravery. Smiling soul of India, where music, art, cuisine and culture comes together to create an unforgettable impression. Punjab is all set to win your hearts with its unique and colorful extravaganza.
Launch a bombing campaign against Iran. The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News. Let's get to updates from the world of business now. Warner Brothers Discovery opened the door on Tuesday to Paramount Sky Dance after the rival bidder raised its offer to $31 per share. The intense bidding war for the studio behind Batman and Harry Potter has reached a fever pitch, with the board signaling that Netflix may lose its place as the preferred suitor. The rival bidder also agreed to contribute more equity should banks raise concerns about Paramount's ability to finance the deal when it closes. Warner's board said that it has not determined whether the revised Paramount proposal is superior to the merger with Netflix, but that directors will engage further. Should a superior deal emerge, Netflix has 4 business days to revise its offer. British AI startup Wave, founded in 2017, has reached a valuation of $8.6 billion after securing fresh investment from major tech companies. The London-based self-driving technology firm raised an additional $1.5 billion US dollars with backing from Uber, Microsoft and Nvidia. Wave is a pioneer in the development of AI embedded in vehicles, which learns from the environment by processing data from sensors instead of relying on pre-mapped routes. Plans to begin commercial robo-taxi trials in London this year and aims to deploy its autonomous driving software in consumer vehicles by 2027. Iconic Hollywood film and TV memorabilia will be auctioned in Los Angeles. A harpoon gun from Jaws, Star Wars, lightsaber hilt and C-3PO head and a jacket from the Terminator are among the 1,550 items going under the hammer from March 25th at the Peterson Automotive Museum. The collection, estimated at $9 million, also includes the Marauder's map from the Harry Potter films, which in fact with select pieces to be displayed on March 11th ahead of the 3-day sale. Asia's financial markets were higher on Wednesday, with Korean chip makers leading gains as investors doubled down on what they see as the safest bet on artificial intelligence, while the yen remained in focus. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan was up 1% higher in early trading. Japan's Nikkei set a record high. It was up 1.1% at 57,956.92 in early trade after touching an intraday peak of 58,047.89. The broader topics edged up 0.07% to 3,818.73. Korea's Kospi was nearly 1.7%, trading above 6,000 for the first time. The index is up 44% so far this year. A global memory chip shortage has seen Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix stock prices double since October, as cash has surged up the AI supply chain to the enormously popular chip makers. Leading global chip maker Nvidia Corporation reports its fourth quarter results after the US market closed on Wednesday. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index was up 0.36%. Australia's stocks were also up as much as 1.1% to a record high despite higher consumer prices in January, which increased the risk of more interest rate hikes. After business, on to sports now. England on Tuesday became the first team to qualify for the T20 World Cup 26 semi-finals after defeating Pakistan by 2 wickets in a thrilling Super 8 match in Sri Lanka. The win took England to 4 points from 2 games and thus maintained top spot in Group 2. Pakistan won the toss and opted to bat first. The men in green were off to a shaky start as they lost Saim Ayub and skipper Salman Ali Agha in the power play. England restricted Pakistan to 164 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. England chased down their target of 165 with 5 balls to spare despite a late wobble. England's skipper Harry Brook led from the front with a hard-fought century. Brook got to his 100 off 50 balls, slamming 10 fours and 4 sixes to get to the milestone. The Super 8 clash between Sri Lanka and New Zealand at the T20 World Cup in Colombo is a pivotal encounter with semi-final spot at stake. The hosts enter the fixture under pressure after their dramatic batting collapse and crushing defeat against England. The equation is straightforward, and another defeat could severely dent their semi-final prospects. Their hopes rest heavily on their ability to choke New Zealand's aggressive batters, and controlling the middle overs could prove decisive. On the other hand, New Zealand posed the most explosive opening partnership of the tournament. Tim Seifert and Finn Allen have combined brute force with fearless intent to destroy opposition plans before spinners could hold sway. A win would strengthen their hopes to qualify for the last 4 after their opening Super 8 fixture against Pakistan was washed out. World champion D. Gukesh spearheads India's challenge at the Prague International Chess Festival, starting in Czech Republic on Wednesday. Indian chess grandmaster will eye a turnaround after an early exit from the World Cup and an underwhelming performance at the Tata Steel Masters. Seeded second in a young elite field, Gukesh will have his task cut out against the likes of German Vincent Keymer and Uzbek Nodirbek Abusattorov. Keymer, ranked 4th globally, is just ahead of Abusattorov, while Gukesh, ranked 10th, is the highest rated Indian. Giving Gukesh company as a fellow Indian will be defending champion Arvind Chittambaram. In the challengers section, Surya Shekhar Ganguly will spearhead the Indian challenge along with Women's World Cup winner Divya Deshmukh. On to Khelo India Winter Games. Army bagged their 4th gold in the Gulmarg leg of Khelo India Winter Games to go on top of the medal standings. Another 5 medals were decided on day 2 of the games, and the highlight of the day was Nordic skier Kajal Kumari Rai, who won her 2nd consecutive gold medal of the competition. Army star skier Padma Namgyal led his team to top 3 positions in the men's version of the 10 kilometers Nordic race. So dominating was the Army team that the first 9 positions went to them. 10 gold medals have been decided in Gulmarg leg so far. Army added 1 more to their 3 overnight to reach 5 golds so far. Haryana continues to occupy the 2nd position in the medal tally with 4 gold medals, but Maharashtra is only a gold adrift. The games are being hosted by Jammu and Kashmir Sports Council. Norway's Bodo Glimt pulled off one of the most remarkable results in modern Champions League history, beating last season's runners-up Inter Milan 2-1 to reach the last 16 with a 5-2 aggregate triumph. Bodo Glimt, the modest outfit from north of Arctic Circle, clinched a stunning 3-1 win last week in the first leg of their knockout phase playoff tie. Inter, the 3-time European champions who are currently 10 points clear at the top of Series A, were expected to pummel their visitors in an attempt to turn the tie around, but Bodo Glimt survived before winning the match 2-1. They are the first side from the country to go so far in Europa's elite club competition since Rosenborg reached the quarterfinals in 1997. Newcastle United, Atletico Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen also went through to the last 16 of the competition. With that, we end this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.